you're down and troubled, and you need a helping hand, and nothing, whoa, nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running, I'll come running just to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you got to do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. Let's go to another verse. If the sky above you should turn dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind should begin to blow, just keep your head together and call my name out loud, to brighten up, oh, even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running just to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you got to do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. Now, ain't it good to know that you got a friend when people can be so cold? They'll hurt you and they'll desert you. They'll take your soul if you let them. Oh, but don't you let them, no, no. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running just to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. Yes, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. 'Cause you've got a friend. Yes, you've got a friend. Yes, yes, you've got a friend. Ain't it good to know that you got a friend? Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Yes, you've got a friend. All right, let's hit it. And on one. Yes, you've got a friend. All right, you guys. Woo.
Fabulous. Quite fabulous. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles and to our Easter Sunday morning celebration. I want to say a big hello to obviously all of you in the room. Say hello to each other. Hello. Hello. And a big hello to those joining us online. We are both online via Zoom and YouTube. So let's say hi to all of those that are joining us online. Want to introduce to you our musicians for the morning. We have the one and only Taylor Simone Harvey as our guest vocalist here this morning, new to us. Donald James Harper.
Yeah.
Yaron Spiewak. And Jason Goldstein. I think I can speak for these four wild children and myself. We're very excited about the curated journey that we have for you today, a journey of song and poetry and message to present to all of us. A new thought regarding this season of Easter, and a reminder to each one of us of the power that we have within us and the opportunity that we have moment by moment by moment for restoration and for renewal. Today we are joining with many people in the world in observance of Easter, honoring the events of 1,990 years ago that are considered a very important center point for the Christian faith. Today, here at the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles, we bring to this observance a metaphysical interpretation that allows us to embrace a spiritual meaning and principles above the literal level of the story and to find personal resonance, relevance, and transformation. The mystical tradition holds that anyone walking the path of awakening towards a full realization of our oneness with God and our divine identity will at some point and in some way personally live the various stages in the story of Jesus's life. It may just be Jesus' life. It may not be Jesus's. But I'd like for you to take that in and ask yourself where you may be on that journey of the stages of Jesus's life. The birth of a virgin, walking in the miracle, upsetting those that are not happy with you around you, which leads to a crucifixion, then being entombed, and ultimately the resurrection. In the teaching, The Philosophy, the Faith, and Way of Life, known as the Science of Mind, Dr. Ernest Holmes says this in regards to the man Jesus. He says, Jesus was not the great exception, he was the great example. As the human gives way to the divine, in all people, they become the Christ. Today, that's what we're here to celebrate, is the Christ within each and every one of us. I want to remind you that as Dr. Barbara King, one of my mentors, taught us, was that Christ was not his surname. Take that in. His name was Jesus, who lived as the Christ. So Christ today is the way that we're going to look at as the way of living life. The metaphysical meaning of Easter is the awakening and raising to the spiritual consciousness of the I am in the human, which for all of us at various times has been dead. And it's been dead in us by trespasses and sins and buried in the tomb of materiality. I just want to let you know that in our philosophy, faith, and way of life, when we look at sin, it's not an act that we are incurring on others that has been disapproved of by some great deity. It's missing the mark in our thinking. And so today, my invitation, as well as our beautiful team of musicians here, is to have each and every one of us invite ourselves into an awakening of the Christ consciousness that exists within us. In the taking on of the Christ consciousness, the human passes over from the mortal to the spiritual consciousness, the Christ consciousness, the higher consciousness. The higher consciousness is the consciousness of a higher self, a transcendent reality. It's a transcendental reality of the divine that exists within each and every one of us. It's the part of the human being that is capable of transcending our innate nature as animal or animal instincts. In essence, what it is love. Love, in our teaching, this philosophy is known as the self-givingness of the spirit through the desire of life to express itself in terms of creation. Emerson tells us that love is a synonym for God. So I welcome you. I didn't introduce myself. I'm Reverend Dr. Keith Cox, and I'm the spiritual leader at the Center for Spiritual Living, Los Angeles, where you are in person today, where you're sharing your light and your Christ consciousness. And I honor every single one of you that are here in person or joining us online or at a later date watching our YouTube channel. Our next song this morning is about love. It's the great Donald James Harper leading us along with his backup musicians with this song titled, Love is Never Ending.
Seasons come and seasons go. One day sun, the next day snow. Flowers die and flowers grow, but love is never ending. You can't kill it with goodbye. Always finds a place to hide inside your heart for your whole life, 'cause love is never ending. When the lights have all gone down, it'll still be hanging around. Even when you think it's lost, it can still be found. Every memory has been made, and the pages start to fade. Every prayer you've ever prayed is heaven bound. When you think the ride is over, you're back at the beginning. Oh, love is never ending. When man and woman start growing old, the passion deep inside grows cold. Know what they got still warms their soul, 'cause love is never ending. When the lights have all gone down, it'll still be hanging around. Even when you think it's lost, it can still be found. Every memory has been made, and the pages start to fade. Every prayer you've ever prayed is heaven bound. When you think the ride is over, you're back at the beginning. Love is never ending. And you think you're gone wrong, long after we're all gone away. Change what you believe, but one day truth will set you free. Just have faith and you will see. Love is never ending. Love is never ending.
Fantastic song, everyone. Fantastic. Easter. In the works titled Spirituality and Practice, Resources for a Spiritual Journey, this is written in regards to Easter. On Easter Sunday, Christians celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the physical dead, an event many consider to be the centerpiece of their faith. But Easter is more than just a day. What happens when we think of Easter as a verb? Then the resurrection becomes a spiritual practice in everyday life. Megan McKenna, the prolific and profound Catholic writer, saw it this way when she was leading a Bible study. She shares the following vignette in her book, Not Counting Women and Children, Neglected Stories from the Bible. Her quote is this: "Once in a parish mission, when I was studying the scripture Luke 7:11 through 17 with a large group, someone called out harshly, 'Have you ever brought someone back from the dead?' I'd been saying that life happens when we're interrupted and that some of the most powerful acts of resurrection happen to the least likely people, that we're the people of resurrection and hope, called to live passionately and compassionately with others, to defy death, to forgive, and to bring others back into the community, to do something that is life-giving, that fights death and needless suffering." And then this challenge came from the back of the church. I, Megan says, took a deep breath, and my response was, yes. Every time I bring hope into a situation, every time I bring joy that shatters despair, every time I forgive others and give them back dignity and the possibility of a future with me and others in the community, every time I listen to others and affirm them and their life, every time I speak the truth in public, every time I confront injustice, yes, I bring people back from the dead. We're each called to do this, to have a new perspective, to speak truth in public, to confront injustice, to indeed really have a new thought, and then a new thought, and then a new thought, and act in accordance to that reflects our divinity. In essence, to take the dead old ideology that exists within our consciousness and roll the stone away and resurrect to a higher consciousness. We each hold within us the possibility of this bringing back from the dead, the awakening and the remembrance of who we are from ourselves and for others. We do this through honoring and knowing and speaking and affirming spiritual truth. One of the spiritual truths that we practice here in our philosophy is one of oneness. We honor this each week with our weekly ritual called Lighting the Flames of Faith. On this day, Easter, Deepak Chopra addresses this concept of the death and the resurrection in this way. He says every spiritual tradition has the idea of death and resurrection. It's not unique to Christianity. The symbolic language of the crucifixion is the death of the old paradigm. Resurrection is a leap into a whole new way of thinking. Today, let's each, you and I, be willing to open to a new paradigm for not only ourselves, but for the whole of humanity. Around the world this week, the people of Jewish faith have been celebrating Passover. The Christians, as we know today, are celebrating Easter. The faith of Muslims have been celebrating Ramadan. The shamanic traditions are celebrating the spring equinox. We're about to do a somewhat modern version of our ritual called Calling in the Light, and we're going to do a different song today that we've had in here before a couple of times, but Jason performs it for us, and it's been done mostly at the center where he works mostly. It's by the one and only beloved Ken Francis. I'm going to read the lyrics to you so that it can be resonating in your soul as you open to this new paradigm. The lyrics are, there is one flame that burns in our heart. There is one light that shines through our love. We light this flame with faith. We find this light within our own soul. There is one flame, one light within. As we light the candle in a moment and engage in this ritual, we do so with the purpose of drawing into our awareness a more conscious awareness of our oneness and the qualities that we each possess as complete expressions of the divine. Every Sunday I speak of these qualities. They include peace, power, beauty, joy, light, life, love, and wisdom. So as we perform this ceremony this morning to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which in our teaching we call Spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. When I light the candle in a moment, we do so for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium. Also for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples. The third candle, or the candle that we'll light, is the third faith of Hinduism, as well as for Judaism, for Buddhism, for Christianity, for all forms of Islam, the universalistic religion of Baha'i, and all forms of New Thought. That's what we practice here today. Let's also open our mind and our heart to honor, acknowledge, accept, and celebrate any that are not named in this flames of faith. I'm going to light the candle now, and we're going to honor each and every one of the individuals that walk our planet. We're going to call it the healing candle. And I'd like for you to put into this light anyone that you would like to have experience the healing energy of the eternal and everlasting love of the divine. We've had this ritual many times here before. But today, let's open our minds to this new paradigm and having a new perspective, a new thought, and sing along with the song.
There is one flame that burns in our heart. There is one light that shines through our love. We light this flame with faith. We light this flame with faith. We find this light within our own soul. There is one flame, one light within.
Beautiful, thank you. A new paradigm is called for from each of us, a new way to look at life, a new reverence and respect for all individuals. It happens for us through our thoughts in life, no matter where we are on the journey of life. Our vision statement is supporting individuals finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. I love the poetry of a young man by the name of Matty Stepanek. He had the opportunity to have a new perspective in life, even though he was physically imbued with a lot of challenges in life. Matty was known to his friends as Matty, and he was known for writing poetry and short stories at the age of 3. Some of his poetry explored the uncensored reality of living with a rare form of muscular dystrophy and the grief associated with the loss of his 3 siblings to the same life-threatening condition. But most of them proclaim the innocent hope, profound wisdom, and delightful humor of childhood. Dr. Bernie Siegel addressed Matty in this way. He said, by confronting his own mortality, Matty had become a teacher whose words make the wisdom and beauty of creation available to all. If, as we are told, angels are messengers, Matty is definitely an angel. I see some of you moving around in the back of the room as if angels are visiting your shoulders, and I'm assuming it means you're cold. And so Robert can turn to his right and use his angelic hands to turn the thermostat up a little bit. Just as Matty used his wisdom and uncomplicated vision to forgive others and use his Christ consciousness to share his poetry, I just did the same in taking care of your needs with the temperature. You're welcome. We're all called to give in unique ways on a daily basis. I invite you to hear this poem by Matty that addresses the inherent potential that's within all of us. It's titled, The Eye of the Beholder. Dandelions are not weeds. See? They have beautiful yellow flowers on them. They have lovely green stems. Mommy puts them in a jar of water in the kitchen. They're flowers. See? They're round and yellow. Oh, Mommy, please tell him he's making a big mistake. Poor little dandelions. He's pulling them all up and calling them weeds. Oh, this is so horrible, so sad. What would God say if he saw you sending all of these poor little round yellow dandelion flowers back to you? For me, this poem speaks to the potential that we all have to see things differently. It's about tapping into our power of speaking our truth, of addressing the social injustices of the world and the pressures that go along with that. That's really what we're called to do today as we embark on this journey of seeing life anew, of living life anew, of rolling away the stone that has kept us entombed in the death of the old while being willing to rise up and ascend to a higher consciousness. In Spiritual Tools for the Hungry Souls, this is written addressing the resurrection. It's the restoring of mind and body to their original undying state. This is accomplished by the realization that God is spirit and that this power created the human with power like that which he himself, the power, possesses. When the human realizes this, their mind and body automatically become immortal. If the spirit of him that raised up Jesus from the dead dwelleth in you, he that raised up Christ Jesus from the dead shall give life also to your mortal bodies through his spirit that dwelleth in you. Try not to take that literally, but to look at it through the lens of a modern viewpoint of resurrection. The word resurrection suggests that there's been a falling short of the divine standard, the necessity of being restored and revived. We do that by understanding that we're called to transformation, by tapping into the pure potentiality that exists within every single one of us. The great Buddhist proverb says that just when the caterpillar thought the world was ending, they turned into a butterfly. Taylor's going to sing for us this incredible song. It's an original song that speaks of the potential within us and our desire to have that be fulfilled through us and the challenges that go with that. Taylor?
How do I measure up? Where can I fill my cup? When will I know enough is enough is enough? Everybody's in the crowd, all the ones that taught me how. Feels like I'm running out of time to make them proud. Oh, all this potential is weighing on me. They see potential, they're waiting on me. All this potential is weighing on me. They see potential, they're waiting on me. How could I get so attached? The applause will never last. I thought I wanted it so bad, not knowing it was what I had. What began as just a dream has now become my everything. Does it matter in the end if what I've done is never seen? All this potential is weighing on me. They see potential, they're waiting on me. All this potential is weighing on me. Yeah, they saw potential. Yeah, they see potential, and it's weighing on me. They saw potential. They see potential, and they're waiting on me. They saw potential.
Put together a good group for you guys today, right? Amazing. Taylor Simone Harvey. Potential. Has anyone in the room ever felt like you've been weighed down by potential? Weighed down by others' expectations of how you're to live your life? Weighed down by the pressures that you put on yourself just based on this teaching alone? It's important for all of us just to remember that we have within us that potential to be anything that we desire to be, and to open up and to let it, the thing itself, the potential, the power, guide us. It's really the energy of the Christ. It is that which was resurrected. It's literally in every single one of us. So often in this teaching of Christianity, mostly, there's this viewpoint of the crucifixion as being the most horrible act. But it's important to remember that with no crucifixion, there would be no resurrection. Metaphysically, looking at the story of Jesus, we do not view the crucifixion of him as a tragedy, but as a step towards a great victory. And Jesus assured us the same victory illustrated in his story that can then be attained by all of us. During his crucifixion, he gave us 7 statements. These statements are contained and scattered among all 4 of the Gospels. Each of the 7 statements made by Jesus should be considered a continuation of his teachings, like all his teachings, which are appropriate for us. They're a unique form of a highly condensed metaphysical teaching, almost a kind of verbal shorthand, if you will, these 7 statements. But for those with eyes to see, they contain a significant spiritual meaning. The crucifixion itself symbolizes a process of crossing out or eliminating that which is no longer needful for our continued unfoldment. What has fulfilled its purpose in us must be either lifted to a higher level of expression and consciousness or let go of completely. The crucifixion of Jesus illustrates both these meanings. The 7th statement that he made was this: Father, into thy hands I commit my spirit. Now, so often we believe that we literally must be nailed to something to be willing to let go and commit our spirit to that power within us. But it's important to remember that act isn't drawing it into us. It's an acknowledgement of remembering and realizing that which is already there. It's already there within us, waiting to be called upon. In the Bible verse and in this concept regarding Father, into thy hands I commit my spirit, what's being addressed here is that in the beginning, God, in every ending, God is our all in all, and Jesus, the man, had gone through a complete cycle in which he'd accomplished exactly everything he needed to and had come here to do. He had brought that cycle of the completion of what he was going through in life to a climax in the symbolism of the drama of the crucifixion. Pretty dramatic, don't you think? I think so. But it's important to realize that the words that he chooses to verbalize that climax are in the statement for which this is hypothesized: Father, into thy hands I commit my spirit. What he's addressing is that thing that's in every single one of us. As stated earlier, it's what we in this teaching call spirit. If you were to take a deep breath in the moment, you would feel it. You know it's there. And this day, Easter, is the story of the power of that spirit that lives deeply within every single one of us. Within our individual lives, in the very cells, fibers, tissues of our bodies, and in every single being. It's that which moves with all things and lifts them over and over again above the challenges, sorrows, and limitations of the world. It's the story of overcoming and renewal. It's an annual reminder to us that even in the darkest moments, the deepest trials, and even in the less dramatic times of struggle against fear, doubt, depression, and financial uncertainty, there is a light. And the truth of Spirit's presence at the center of our being is within every single one of us. The opportunity that we have today is to call the power of Spirit into a personal application for us. Not holding it apart from us at arm's length from our lives, but rather to bring it into a renewal of our own home, the home of our mind, of our soul, and the way that we live our life. To bring the remembrance of this Spirit and act in accordance to it to our hearts, inviting it in as a living truth, to our families, biological and chosen, invoking the activity of love in all of our relationships, regardless of past history and current estrangement, to all other relationships, particularly the troublesome ones, restoring to our perception the truth of our oneness, to bring it into our bodies, honoring them, nurturing them, and allowing them to be the temples of the living Spirit itself, to bring it to our understanding of situations and our own experience and in the world, and to bringing it in the way of seeing that something about its Spirit is always working into expression in our lives. and to bringing it into our viewpoint and our work in the world, always giving of ourselves to the best of our ability, authenticity and fullness, and then to bring it to our dreams, rekindling and lifting them to the highest form of good. Yaron's going to sing a song called It's in Every One of Us. It's a sweet song, a beautiful song, and is a reminder for each and every one of us to not only remember that the Spirit is within each and every one of us, but it's in every one of us. Please feel free to sing along. Yaron.
Try it again. Oh, here we go. It's in every one of us, Johnny, if you know, to be wise. Find your heart, open up both your eyes. We can know everything without ever knowing why. It's in every one of us, by and by. It's in every one of us. I just remembered, it's like I've been sleeping there for years, not awake as I can be, but my seeing better I can see through the years. I've been realizing that about the ticket, I'm watching all the after show. There is scenery and lights, and a cast of thousands who will know what I know. And it's good, that's all good. It's in every one of us to be wise. Find your heart, open up all your eyes. We can all know everything without ever knowing why. We got every one of us, by and by. Let's hear you guys, come on. It's in every one of us to be wise. Find your heart. Find your heart. Open up both your eyes. Open up both your eyes. We can all do everything. We can all do everything without ever knowing why. It's in every one of us, by and by, and by.
Your own Spiewak, Taylor Simone Harvey, Jason Goldstein, and Donald James Harper. Yes, right. In the lyrics of that song, it says, I'm as wake as I can be. The awakening speaks to the pathway of enlightenment, about opening our eyes, opening our heart, opening our being to letting the light of the divine, that spirit I spoke of earlier, guide us on our journey. Brad Austin writes this in regards to this awakening, this journey of awakening, this walking the path of spiritual enlightenment. He writes, the path to enlightenment is often called a path because it's a journey through time and space. You don't simply just wake up one day enlightened. It takes time and dedication to the spiritual path over many years and lifetimes. Everyone is at different stages of enlightenment on the planet. Some are more advanced in areas and some are still in infancy in other areas. Life on earth supports enlightenment through the challenges, tests, and trials we're faced with throughout our life. On a soul level, we choose these tests and experiences, some believe, before we're born. It's about focusing on the light and to know that we always have a choice and to seek the journey of enlightenment and being awakened to a higher level of consciousness and a higher level of consciousness and a higher level of consciousness. Being enlightened or spiritually awakened doesn't necessarily mean that you can walk on water. It also doesn't mean that you can't. It means that the individual has a greater awareness and have stopped living life by default. It's very easy to live life by default. It actually requires the least amount of effort. Generally requires more effort and consciousness to live an enlightened life. So how does one become enlightened or spiritually awakened? It starts with intent and taking the appropriate action when the opportunities arise. Enlightenment, or spiritual awakening, isn't simply a philosophy. It's a way of life. It's kind of like Easter being a verb. It means being slow to anger and slow to judge others. It requires work and dedication to live our lives to the highest intent and calling, thought by thought, belief by belief, reaction by reaction, interaction by interaction. Becoming enlightened doesn't mean you lose your identity. It simply means that your ego becomes balanced with the light of your soul. Your spiritual nature becomes your second nature rather than that of your ego. You become more gentle, more compassionate, and loving, and loving, and loving to yourself and others to the best of your ability as often as you can. The next song that we're going to hear, James chose this song, and it's one of my favorite songs on earth. I love it because it speaks to the death of what was and the opening up of what can be, and then trusting the guidance of love to move through us. It's a resurrection, if you will. It's titled Love's Divine. Donald James Harper and crew.
Then the rainstorm came over me, and I felt my spirit break. I'd lost all my belief, you see, and realized my mistake. But time threw a prayer to me, and all around me became still. I need love, love's divine. Please forgive me now, I see that I've been blind. Give me love, love is what I need to help me know my name. Like this, and 'cause love can help me know my name. That's right. One more time. 'Cause love can help me know my name. Yes, it can.
So I've been over there crying, taking the tissue out of the candy bag that I gave you to wipe my eyes that's got printed John Kelly chocolates on it. Say what, baby? Honey, they ain't just singing, they're letting Spirit work through them. And I also want you to know, you have no idea how hard they've worked on the service. They have been for 2 weeks. They've been picking songs, writing charts, curating. We have a Google Drive going on. They've been texting among each other. Last night, I was trying to get some sleep, and the text was going ding, 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 ding. They're musicians. They're up much later than I am. But they were having the most fun in their text preparing for today to share this not only with themselves, but for all of you. So, yeah. If you listen to the lyrics of that song, it says that we may bend and we won't break, that if we open up, that love is always there. What's required of us is to believe. To believe not just in that resurrection, but to believe in the possibility and the potentiality that's within each and every one of us. Taylor's song spoke of that earlier. It's about literally looking at this resurrection as a part of Easter, as a verb, as the opportunity for an ascension for each and every one of us. As practicing metaphysicians, as conscious beings, this represents to us moving to a higher level of consciousness. I addressed it earlier. It's called the Christ consciousness. Those are heavy freaking words, by the way, the Christ consciousness, right? But if we open up and begin to look at that through a modern day lens, we understand that in modern language, what that means is it means our living as a conscious co-creator to the life that we desire to express, one that's founded in letting our essence guide us, our divine nature guide us. It's by being a conscious participant in conscious evolution. So the path of the co-creator, that's what we're on, each and every one of us. We're called to it today, as we've said yes to the death of the old and the open to the new. The great Barbara Marx Hubbard, who was an author, speaker, and co-founder and president of the Foundation for Conscious Evolution, posted that, positioned herself that humanity is on the threshold of a quantum leap. It's time for us to have a newly emergent scientific, social, and spiritual capacity revealed through us, and that's already integrated with us as divine beings that we're being called to address and engage in because of the global crisis we're in today. Just this morning on the way here, I had CNN on in my car. It was talking about whatever the hell's going on with abortion today. It's always something in our world today, and I don't want us to get caught up in the effects of the horrific things that are going on, but to tune into our ability to make change. The great Mahatma Gandhi told us, be the change you desire to experience in life. As co-creators, we know there's a way for that to happen. Dr. Barbara Marx Hubbard says that to know that the path of the co-creator is to be awakened spiritually within, which then turns into your own deeper life purpose, which then makes you want to reach out and touch others in a way that expresses the self, and it really evolves our communities and our world. Evolves, not just involves, evolves our communities and our worlds. Certainly we can't do that unless we activate ourselves first. She says, that's why for me, emergence is the shift from ego to essence. That's what James just sung about letting love be the divine. Let's all choose today to be a conscious evolutionist. Conscious, defined as a deliberate and intentional act, being fully active and engaged, aware of oneself and our surroundings and the impact that we're making. Evolution is the infinite process through which the whole mass of interrelated phenomena in the universe are developing through descent, leading to new, more complex biological, social, economical, and institutional forms. We define conscious evolution as the process by which we apply our ability to influence how and into what we as humans evolve. My soul brother, Dr. Jim Lockard, wrote this that was part of our New Thought text for the day that I posted this week. Our society needs shepherds, people of wisdom who can be active at every sphere of our culture to bring that culture to every sphere of our, I'm going to start again. I still got the tears tumbling in me from Love's Divine. Our society needs shepherds, people of wisdom who can be active at every sphere of our culture to bring that wisdom to bear, to speak a word of truth where there is an absence of awareness, to call for love where there's an absence of compassion, to offer optimism when pessimism becomes dominant. I'm going to invite one of our board members, Olivia, to the stage to read to us a poem that speaks to each and every one of us being able to tune into our past, overcoming it, forgiving it, and rising up to that which is new. Please welcome Olivia Lawless, please.
author known for her acclaimed 1969 memoir, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, and her numerous poetry and essay collections. Dr. Angelo received several honors throughout her career, including 2 NAACP Image Awards in the Outstanding Literary Work Nonfiction category in 2005 and 2009, a Presidential Medal of Freedom, and over 50 honorary degrees. This poem, Still I Rise, is a powerful poem that draws on a range of influences, including her personal background and the African American experience in the United States. Its message of liberation and survival was a constant theme in Angelou's work. Years after it was published in 1978, the poem continues to reach readers and audiences, cutting across racial lines and national boundaries. Professor Angelou herself commented on its appeal in a 2008 interview. You know, if you're lonely, you feel you've been done down. It's nice to have, and still I rise. It speaks to our ability to be resurrected from the past and oppression and be renewed by the life within us. Still I rise. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hopes springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide, leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hope of the slave. Say with me, I rise. I rise. I rise. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Olivia. I rose and my microphone came loose. Hold on. So as we begin to rise up and roll away the stone of imprisonment in our life, we each have the opportunity to ascend the light. 1 second, please. You know what it's telling me? To take off my jacket. That's what it's saying. So I rise and roll away the stone of imprisonment, which was a very chic jacket, right? Which takes us exactly where I want us to go, is to choose to move beyond the looking at this act of Easter through some prism of it being beyond us. That it's the story of some man who died on the cross 1,990 years ago. But to tune into the calling of the meaning of the message, which is for each and every one of us, day by day, to choose to live differently, to tap into the choices that we have before us, to not look at life and all that's unfolding with disdain or horror, or it's them doing it, not me, but to not only tap into our light, but to then shine it, and then shine it, and then shine it on others. This next song that you're about to hear has become a ballad for me in my life. I heard it a couple of weeks ago while watching the Gershwin Award for Song that was given to the one and only Joni Mitchell. And it's a song that was sung by Brandi Carlile, and it's titled Shine. And it's a modern day anthem that calls each and every one of us to not only shine our light anew, but to see life in a new way. We all know that Joni Mitchell was an incredible and iconic songwriter that's known to sing her sorrow and paint her joy. The song that we're about to hear doesn't point us towards sorrow or joy, but only to truth. One might say it's a prophecy, if you will. It's a latter-day Joni Mitchell song. She recorded it. It was released in 2007, and it shows that the fabulous Joni Mitchell is a story and truth teller as much as she's ever been. Let's each let it speak to us and be a call to action to shine our Christ light, to be a conscious evolutionist. I invite you to listen to the lyrics and let them speak to you, and even let those components of it that are provocative be a call to awaken the Christ consciousness within you and do just as he did and overturn the tables in the temple. To stand up and speak your truth, to be willing to be a conscious participant in change today. This song will conclude this portion of our service for Easter. I feel so honored and blessed to share it with you. Service isn't over after the song, it's just completing this portion of it. Taylor Simone Harvey has said yes to singing this song. And I love it because when I asked her this morning if she had watched the video, she said, because I've been watching it on a loop, and she said, yes, but I'm doing it in essence my way. And I said, thank you for that. Taylor Simone Harvey and our beautiful band, Shine.
Let your light shine. Oh, let your light shine. Shine on Wall Street in Vegas. Place your bets. Shine on all the fishermen with nothing in their nets. Shine on rising oceans and evaporating streams. Shine on all our Frankenstein technology. Shine on science with its tunnel vision, its tunnel vision. Shine on fertile farmlands buried under subdivisions. let your light shine. Oh, let your light shine. Shine on dazzling darkness that restores us in deep sleep. Shine on what we throw away. Shine on what we keep. Shine on Reverend Pearson, who threw away that vain old God, kept Dickens and Rembrandt and Beethoven and fresh plowed sod. Kids to play. Shine on those bombs exploding from half a mile away. Oh, let your light shine. Let your light shine. Oh, let your light shine. Let your light shine. Shine on worldwide traffic jams, hawking day and night. Shine on that old asshole passing to the right. Let's go on and shine on those red light runners who's busy talking on their cell phones. Shine on the Catholic Church and all the prisons that they own. Matter of fact, let's shine on all our churches. Every single church, they seem to love less and less. Shine on that hopeful little girl in her dreamy dress. Let your light shine. Let's let our light shine. Let your light shine. Oh, let's let our light shine. Let our light shine. Let your light shine. Shine on good humor. Shine on goodwill. Shine on lousy leadership with a license to kill. Shine on dying soldiers in patriotic pain. Shine on mass destruction in some God's name. Whoa, shine on all our pioneers, all of them seeking mental health. On a journey for inward clarity, they pushed in right past themselves, right past themselves. Oh, let your light shine. Let your light shine. You guys sing with us. Oh, come on. Let your light shine. Let your light shine. Oh, let our light shine. Let your light shine. Let your light shine. Let your light shine.
I think she let her light shine, don't you? Thank you. Got some power, girl. Keep shining your light. And to all of you, a big round of applause to our musicians today. So just want to let you know that as a community, it's our intention to provide a safe space for all of us to tap into our power. We do that once a month here on Sunday mornings and the rest online. So please feel free to join us as we do that each Sunday. We're confirmed in the building for the second Sunday of the month through the rest of the year. And if as we were to grow, we can increase that as well. And so just know that that's happening. And just want to give you some updates of what's going on. There is some food outside if you'd like to snack after the service. I know it's been a long service. We had a schedule and we ran to it and got a little off of it, but it's all going to fall into place perfectly as it already is, right? And so we'd like to have you support us financially if that feels comfortable for you. Jesus is going to walk by in just a moment. He's going to walk by in just a moment and pass the bag. He's so ready to let his light shine and give you the opportunity to support us financially. And as you know, this production of today of sharing our light is not an inexpensive one, so we thank you for that. As well as if you'd like to give at any other time or while you're in service on the Zoom and or YouTube, you can go to our website, csl-la.org, and that'll give you the opportunity to click on donate there, as well as the app in the App Store. We've updated our website this week, so it's got a fresh new approach, so check that out. So as Jesus now walks the room, feel free to share with him any contributions that you would like to share with us, and to know that it's all appreciated. I'd like to thank you all for being here today. I'd like to thank our audio technician who's had his hands full today, the one and only Travis Smith. Thank you, Travis. To thank Robert Hensley, our social media guru and tech support gentleman and administrative assistant in the back. Thank you for having it all work for us and connecting us on YouTube, even when it crashed 5 minutes before it was supposed to work today. A big thank you to these four individuals: Taylor Simone Harvey, Jason Goldstein, Yaron Spiewak, and Donald James Harper. And thank you all for shining your light today and being so committed to sharing your gift. The gifts that you each have individually are acknowledged and honored and appreciated, for they're a blessing. But when they come together, the power is boundless. An example for all of us, and what a great example today. So thank you for that. I'd like to close with a quick reading from my dear friend Carol Carnes, Reverend Dr. Carol Carnes. And she says we can, and it's a call for each of us for what's in front of us. She says we can get a pretty accurate read on what the days ahead will be like simply by examining our mental activity. That which is repetitive and limiting has got to go. Start today to construct a new way of seeing everything. Think sufficiency, flow, vitality, and power. Make up affirmations that support the truth of love as the greatest force in the universe. Name your good and claim it as already so in the great field of potential. Call it into experience by giving your attention to it. Praise health, praise wealth, praise peace, praise the source of it all, the cosmic consciousness of I am. That is what preceded our personalized mind, as is still available to inform and guide us all year long. Let that which lies ahead be a time where we consciously participate in that which we desire. Good begets more good. One of my favorite quotes of all time will be my closing quote, and then our beloved Taylor will take us out with a great song. And it's by Gary Zukav, and you've heard it hundreds of times, but hear it today as the ascended light of the divine that you've said yes to. Choice is the engine of our evolution. If you choose unconsciously, you will evolve unconsciously. If you choose consciously, you will evolve consciously. Choosing to evolve consciously is much better than unconsciously, and most often far less painful. Trust me, been there, done that. The power of choice is the greatest gift you've been given, second only to the gift of life itself. As I extinguish the flame on the candle, may it ignite itself within you and you say yes to the calling that you've participated in today. Thank you to all that joined us online. Thank you all for being here. Enjoy yourself today. Take us out.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hits my eyes, then something without warning, love, bears heavy on my mind. Then I think of you, and the world's all right with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
Lovely day, lovely day, lovely day,
Yeah.
lovely day, lovely
A
day,
lovely day.
lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day.
When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face,